with you again for another gymnastics session. For this day's session, you'll need a nice floaty scarf if you can find one somewhere. If you can't, again, don't worry, you could use a t-shirt or something like that, or just pretend. Because we're going to be using these on the floor, I've got carpet, but if you've got hard floors, it might be a good idea to have a rug on the floor just where you're going to place the scarf so that you don't slip. Okay, now remember just to adapt any exercises to suit your own abilities or to suit your own space, and remember that all activities are undertaken at your own risk. Who's ready to get started? We'll start off with the Gym Bear song again. So if you want to sit down on your mummy or daddy's knee and get ready to pack your knees. It's time to begin, it's time to begin. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Stretch up tall, curl up small, clap your hands with me. Gymnastics is so much fun, come and play with me. Whee! Oh, thanks, Bear. That was great fun. Now we're going to start off with a warm-up dance today, and it's called Let's Go Walking. So you can either be on the spot, or if you've got a wee bit of space like I have, you can go round in a circle. Okay, so there's lots of different moving activities to do to get us a little bit tired. Are you ready to join in? Here's the music.
Let's go walking, 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 walking. Let's go walking, walking, far, far away.
This time, try going on tiptoe. Put your arms out to balance.
Let's go tiptoe, tiptoe,
Be nice and strong, don't fall over.
tiptoe. Let's go tiptoe, tiptoe, far, far away.
Now,
This time,
Can
try
you
walking
backwards?
backwards. Oh, be careful now.
keep checking over your shoulder.
Backwards, backwards, backwards. Let's walk backwards, backwards, far, far away.
Now let's try some marching. Swing your arms and lift your knees up high.
Let's go marching, 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 marching. Let's go marching, marching, far, far away.
Now we're on to something.
Now let's try some jogging. Keep on your toes. Don't go too fast.
Let's go jogging, 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 jogging. Let's go jogging, jogging, far, far away.
Well, that was hard work. Let's go on a horse and do some galloping. Keep on those toes.
Let's go
Giddy up,
galloping,
Percy.
galloping, galloping, galloping.
Hey!
Galloping, galloping, far, far away.
Now we'll try some skipping.
So we're
Lift those
skipping.
knees up high.
One knee
Let's go
and
skipping, 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 skipping. Let's go skipping, skipping, far, far away.
And last of all, let's cool down with some more walking.
I'm tired.
Let's go
Let's
walking,
walk.
walking, walking, walking. Let's go walking, walking, far, far
And one more time. Other way.
walking, 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 walking. Let's go walking, walking, far, far away.
Ooh, well done, everybody. Let me just pop my music ready for the end. Okay, so if we'd been in our proper gymnastics hall, we would have been bouncing on the nice bouncy trampette today and hanging from the bars. But unfortunately, we don't have that equipment now. Although if you do have a wee tune-up bar at home, I suppose you could have a shot. But now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story. And this is where you need your scarf. So I want you to put it round your shoulders because you're Little Red Riding Hood. And she has a nice cape, doesn't she? We're going to use the Little Red Riding story to help us to practice our shapes that we would have been making hanging from the bar, or that we could have been making when we were jumping off the bouncy tram pit. So the shapes that we need to use, I'll just pop my scarf down to show you to start with. We're going to be practicing in this story our tuck shape, where we pull our knees right up to our tummies and hold on tight to our legs. Let me show you from the side. Tuck up tight like this. We're going to be using our straddle shape with nice wide legs. Try and make sure your knees are nice and flat and your toes are nice and pointy. Okay? And we're going to be using our pike shapes, where we're sitting up nice and tall with lovely straight legs and pointy toes. I'm showing that one from the side as well. Sitting up nice and tall, nice flat knees. Okay? So we need those for the story. So, once upon a time, Little Red Riding Hood was sitting in her bedroom, all curled up in a tuck shape, reading a book. When Mummy called her and said, "Granny's not been well, Little Red Riding Hood. Do you think you could take this basket of food through the woods to Granny's cottage?" Little Red Riding Hood said, "Of course, Mummy." So she picked up her cape and put it on and picked up the basket of food and went off down the path and into the woods. It was such a nice day. She was skipping along, listening to the birds tweeting in the trees and watching all the insects buzz about. And she found a lovely place where it was nice and sunny, and she thought she'd sit down for a wee sunbathe. And she sat in a lovely pike shape with her legs stretched out in front of her so they could get the sun as well. Oh, lovely. Oh, but before long, her legs got a wee bit cold. So she took her cape off from round her shoulders and she popped it over her toes and pulled it right up to her tummy to keep her warm. So can you do that a few times? Put your cape over your toes and pull it right up to get yourself nice and warm. Now look, while I'm doing this, my knees are staying super straight. Over my toes and pull up. Over my toes and pull up. There we go. And she felt a wee bit warmer. Now, while Little Red Riding Hood was warming herself up, a wolf was prowling through the trees. So let's make our straddle shape with our legs apart, but standing up, and put our hands on the floor and walk through the trees, just like the wolf. Here he is prowling through the trees, following some smells. And the wolf spotted Little Red Riding Hood and he sat down beside her. Let's sit in our straddle shape because that's how he was walking. With nice flat knees, remember, and nice tall backs. And the wolf sat down beside Little Red Riding Hood and he said, "Hello, Little Red Riding Hood, where are you going today?" And Little Red Riding Hood, who was sitting in her pike shape, said, "I'm going to Grandma's house." And the wolf, in his straddle shape, said, "Oh, why are you going to Grandma's house and where is your Grandma's house?" And Little Red Riding Hood said, "Grandma's not been well and I'm taking her some food. She lives in the cottage just through the woods." And the wolf said, "Oh, does she now? It's time that I went. Goodbye, Little Red Riding Hood." And off he went and trotted through the woods. Thought Little Red Riding Hood. Very strange. But then she thought, well, I must get off to Grandma's house. So she picked up her cape and popped it on and got her basket and went skipping off through the wood. But before long, she came to a stream. Now, do you think you could turn your scarf into a stream now and put it out on the floor in front of you in a nice long line, like a stream that's flowing through the woods. This is where, if you've got hard floor, you might want to put it on a rug so that it's not slippy. And we're going to pretend that we're on our trampette now, just like if we were in gymnastics, and we'll be doing lots of jumps, and then we can do a big jump over the stream and land on what would be our nice soft mats. We'll jump back over the stream. Are you ready to join in with me? Let's do 5 jumps and a big whoosh jump over the stream to land on the other side. Because Little Red Riding Hood saw the stream and she couldn't go past it without playing in it. Are you ready for 5 jumps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoosh! Nice landing shape and big stretch. Lovely. Oh, it was so much fun. She jumped over the stream to do it again. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoosh! Nice landing shape, big stretch. Oh, I'm going to do it again, said Little Red Riding Hood. It's such fun to be able to jump over the whole stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoosh! Nice landing and stretch up. Oh, one more time, thought Little Red Riding Hood. This is great fun. Wait till I tell Grandma all about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, big whoosh! Nice landing. Well done, guys. Now, while Little Red Riding Hood was playing jumping over the stream, the wolf found his way to Grandma's cottage and he knocked on the door. And Grandma called out, "Is that you, Little Red Riding Hood?" And the wolf said, "Yes." And the Grandma said, "Come in, Little Red Riding Hood." So the wolf went into Grandma's house and up the stairs into Grandma's bedroom. And he took the surprised Grandma out of her bed and put her in the cupboard and shut the door. And then the big bad wolf jumped into Grandma's bed and sat there pretending to be Grandma. So, when Little Red Riding Hood had finished jumping over the stream, she suddenly thought, "Oh, I must get to Grandma's house. I've taken far too long." So she picked up her basket and she ran all the way through the woods until she got to Grandma's door. And she knocked on the door. "Hi, Grandma, it's me," she called. And the wolf, pretending to be Grandma, called, "Come in, Little Red Riding Hood." So in she went and up the stairs into Grandma's bedroom, and she curled up in her tuck shape on the chair beside Grandma's bed. "Oh, Grandma," she said, "you look a bit strange today. What big eyes you've got." "All the better to see you with," said the big bad wolf. "And Grandma, what big ears you've got." "All the better to hear you with," said the big bad wolf. "And Grandma, what big teeth you've got." "All the better to eat you with," said the big bad wolf. And he was just about to leap out of bed and jump on top of Little Red Riding Hood when Little Red Riding Hood's dad came in the door, up the stairs, and took one look at the wolf and picked him up and threw him out into the wood, so he was never seen again. And then Grandma came out of the cupboard, and Little Red Riding Hood and her dad and her grandma sat down and had some of the delicious food that Little Red Riding Hood had brought in her basket. Isn't that a nice story? Well done for joining in and practicing all your shapes. I wonder if you can just show me all your shapes again before we have to go. Now, if you can make your scarf, because we would have been doing these shapes when we were hanging from the bar. So if you can make your scarf into something that looks like a big long bar, maybe you could pretend that you're hanging from the bar with your scarf right up in the air, and you could show me your tuck shape with your knees up really high, and your straddle shape with your legs out really wide and your knees really flat, and your pike shape with your feet together. Can you show me a straddle shape? Can you show me a tuck shape? Can you show me, I'll do it this way now. Can you show me a straddle shape? Good. Can you show me a pike shape? Can you show me a duck shape? Good. Are you holding on tight to your bar still? Straddle shape. Duck shape. Pike shape. Oh, brilliant. Well done, everybody. Whew, that's made me all hot. What a lot of exercise we've done today. So I think we'll just finish off with a nice little song. I think probably Little Red Riding Hood, after that busy day, was really tired when she went to bed that night. So I think we'll do a nice quiet Twinkle Twinkle song for today. So let's sit down with mummies and daddies and we'll do this nice quiet Twinkle Twinkle. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Oh, and that's made me nice and calm and ready for our lovely cool down dance to finish off. Are you ready to copy me with the moves?
Before we go, let's do our cool down song.
So standing in a nice big space, ready to stretch up high. Here comes our music.
Are you ready?
Ready?
Stretch high. That's right, up high. Bend low. Right down low. Arms out
Big
wide.
white star shape.
Sway to and fro. To and fro. Ready to bend your knees.
Can you be really slow?
Bend knees.
And then as tall as you can on your
Then
tiptoes.
up on tiptoe.
Stretch.
Can you stretch right up? Stretch your arms in front.
Wiggle your
Right
fingers.
out. Now swing those arms to and fro. To and fro. Now sit down with your legs stretched out.
Let's sit down in our pike shape. Lovely
Stretch
straight
those
knees and pointy toes.
Shake your hands. Come on, shake them.
Shake, shake, shake. And
Wiggle your
your
toes. That feels good.
Now you'll need
Bend
a
your
little
knees.
space behind you to curl up and rock back.
Now rock. To
Remember,
and fro.
you can have your little one in front of you and catch their shoulders
To and
as
fro.
they come back. Watching they don't put their heads on the floor.
That's lovely rocking.
One time to lie
Breathe
down now.
in.
Night, night,
Big
sleep
deep
tight.
breath. Breathe out. Eyes closed. Close them tight. Let's just doze. Just doze. Feeling sleepy?
Oh, wakey, wakey, everybody. Well done. I hope you enjoyed joining in with me today. I've just had great fun. Alana will be here with you next week and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.